there, you're on your Merrie Way day, and guess what? We're going to be bringing you the Beverly Hills Shaman very shortly, but in the meantime, we have a very special guest today, and I adore her. She's one of my favorite people on the whole planet. Her name is Diane Miller. To describe Diane would take the entire show, so I've had to get a soundbite. She's an entrepreneur who has traveled the globe. She has worked internationally with so many different corporations, with countries, helping children as well. And she's done something else, which of course is most dear to my heart. She has run a little theater in Los Angeles. She is the best producer, also known as Auntie Mame, to those who know us well. Welcome, Diane.
Welcome you, darling, and I love being merrily with you in any way.
Well, we've had some good times, and we've just had a technical glitch. Two gals that are used to going in limos. This is tough. So what we're here to do today is I'm going to ask Diane a few things about Little Theater. It's changing rapidly. Diane, do you know they're live streaming Little Theater now?
Well, everything is live streaming. It would be natural for it to come to that venue and to bring it to a larger audience, of course.
Now, if you were producing, let's say, my one-woman show, which I've been working on since I was a baby.
But of course, darling, it just keeps changing.
That's the problem. We never have an ending, and they always say to me, Lynn, you have to have a final act. Diane.
No, here's the thing.
Yes.
You just have to have a final curtain for that act. That doesn't mean the story's over.
Good. Okay. Now, years ago, I did a play. It was called Getting It. They compared me to Neil Simon at his cutest with a Frank Capra pace. I was going to be him watching the play, but unfortunately, the lead actress got sick and I was the only one who knew the lines since I did write it. Back then, it was so lively. We had an urn on the stage that used to talk, a dead grandfather, in entertaining an audience. Plays, because I say, gee, they're talking too much, if you know what I mean. So, and someone said to me, well, Lynn, that's what a play is. People talk. What is your idea of breaking things up for sheer entertainment on that stage?
Well, first of all, I agree with that friend of yours that said, because it is all about the words. Even in film, the baseline, of course, is the script. So it's in the beginning was the word. The beauty of theater is that you get to perform the words one-on-one with an audience. I mean, that's the beauty of theater. I think today, and we've seen the arc in theater, even little theater, with high-tech lighting and bringing it into the 21st century. However, maybe I'm just an old-fashioned girl at heart. But I really prefer the simplicity of great lighting, a brilliant stage, great actors, and great words. There's nothing like comedy. You, a queen of comedy, knows that to a live audience. You feed off that. You rise off of that. You become even greater than you were 5 seconds ago when you hear them love you with their laughter.
At 5 years old, I had one
This
about this.
only occurs in theater. And I always thought one day, whenever I retire, and God knows I probably will never retire, but I would open a community theater someplace and then just invite all the great actors and actresses like yourself to come for only like a week or 2 weeks and play a role just to stay on the boards again. Just to touch those and to do like Noel Coward and George Bernard Shaw, and of course, that raucous Noel Coward. I mean, and Oscar Wilde. Great theater like that, just that everybody loves. So I'm not a great fan of all the new high-tech theater, even though I loved, Phantom of the Opera and everything that big theater was able to do. But I think little theater, and we're not supposed to call that anymore, equity waiver, little theater, 99-seat theater. But I think it's about that intimacy with an audience. And that's why it is 99 seats or less, because you have an intimate house and an intimate experience. And unless you've ever done that, you have no idea what you're missing. So you bringing that to a new audience and inviting them to experience that, I applaud you, darling.
I'm not doing that though.
You
I
are on
really,
this show. You
oh no,
are on this
I'm
show.
saying what I want to bring to the theater now, and it takes experts like you who've done all of it, is avant-garde theater. I'm going to use that word because it may mean something different to an audience or to you, but it's where you will use multimedia, where you will use magic, like I saw that magical show Smoke and Mirrors, and he's a consummate magician, so he's
Mhm.
able to weave that into it. I love when we can add dimension, and he also used a cartoon character who is in full costume as his alter ego, using Houdini, real footage that was up there, that was
Mhm.
integrated. That's what I'm talking about. Multimedia theater, using that.
Mhm.
How would you approach? And I'm not just saying a one woman show. I think if the show I would like to do would have other characters. But what about this multimedia? Most of
I,
us aren't Noel Coward, rather, or Neil
yeah.
Simon,
Yeah.
in the
Right.
writing today.
Well, of course, Neil Simon said he's really not a writer; he's a rewriter. A
Ah,
play is never written; it is only rewritten. And of course, being in theater, as you know, it's the continual rewrite, which you get to do live with your audience. You know,
First I was pretty. Now I'm interesting looking with character. Soon I'll be handsome, followed by stately, and finally, worst of all, remarkable for her age.
I've seen, especially in big theater, in little theater, I think you can expand your audience through multimedia. But as I say, I'm probably an old fashioned girl and I would limit the interjection of technology on stage because I think to some degree it does detract from the focus, the spotlight of the performer and the words. Of course, to stream it, to have it live, interact, to have the audience go out, to be able to Twitter while you're doing it, to ask questions. I think you can engage the audience in that level.
to see some
I
of the new theaters today, which there's one down the street from me, and it is also used to show films, and it is a dinner theater, but small, but it's laid out brilliantly.
Mm-hmm.
The old, you got to have a set going this way, and either you're up or you're down on the stage. They're really doing things in proscenium, all kinds of avant-garde things. I think for
Okay.
our audience now listening,
Mm-hmm.
um, we'd like feedback if you are in the theater, what your dreams are, that how you would like to see things. Because a lot of you are so technological that you're probably wondering how you could write your new song and record it on stage and have us watch you. But
And have it sell during the performance at the same
exactly.
time.
So
Time.
So I think we're talking about stretching our imaginations. And
Mm-hmm.
Diane is doing a good thing for yours truly. She's keeping me focused because she knows I might end up making a film instead of doing the play. I mean, it's so possible. And
and
so,
and theater has been a stepping stone because I produced 4 plays that were turned into film. I developed the material in the theater and showcased it to the industry. So it's a natural segue to those who think multidimensionally on that level. So of course you would. And film was where you've had film TV where you've had so much of your fabulous background. So it's a natural place for you to continue to go. In fact, if you could take it to Venus, you would.
uh, who said we can't?
That's true
I
because
mean, there's
Richard Richard
I was
Branson,
gonna
we're on.
say he's holding a seat for some of us. That's back to the key to all of it is the imagination. And those of you that are tuned in, you're here because you are either aspiring to be in show business, you are in show business, you are part of a very special group of people. There's many more of us than ever before. You have an iPhone, you're a filmmaker.
Absolutely. And Shakespeare, the bard, of course, we can always get back to, was all right on. It's all a stage, anyhow. You know, life is an improv. I mean, wherever you go and whatever you do. I'm in Gelson's, I'm picking up Brussels sprouts. This little Jewish guy comes up to me and he said, "So, how do you cook them?" I said, "Well, I cook all my vegetables the same way, in a skillet with a little bit of water or drizzle of all." And I said, "What?" 5 minutes later, I've got 6 people. I'm going vegetable to vegetable, giving a cooking class.
Well, thank See, this lady does everything all the time. And I'd like to add, as you know, you can get my book, Life as an
Life is an
Improv,
improv.
on
Yes.
Amazon. Diane, it has been a hoot, as you would say.
It
Um,
always is with you, darling.
and I want to thank you once again for being here. And
Hey,
I have
say
an
it's a merry
invitation.
day.
Will you come
Way
back?
your way.
But of course.
Sun is up. Happy, happy,
But
happy
of course.
day.
Love, love, love.
Love, love,
Ciao,
love,
Bella.
sway. Merry way day.